Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly Pop Culture Wrap-Up. That's right, everybody. Thanks for checking out the video. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is the weekly pop culture wrap-up. It's the show where I go over the week's pop culture news, mostly comic books and movies. But before we get into that, I want to invite you to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really does help us out. So now let's get into the wrap-up. Superman will be relaunching with a new #1 in February of 2023. It will be written by Josh Williamson with artwork by Jamal Campbell and Nick Dragotta. So Campbell and Dragotta are going to be like swapping artistic duties, at least for the first couple arcs or something like that, right? I'm super pumped for this book. I do like Action Comics, but Philip Kennedy Johnson's Warworld story just went a bit too long, kind of running around in the same circles a little bit. I have fallen out of Superman Son of Kal-El, so I want to have a Superman book that feels fresh and exciting yet classic at the same time, and that's what writer Josh Williamson is kind of promising with this new series. He says it's going to bring back classic villains, it's going to create new threats, and it's going to build up a new relationship that the Superman family has with Metropolis, and this is all being set up right now in the pages of Action Comics. I think Campbell and Dragotta are fantastic artists, two different styles, but they both have a kinetic energy. It'll be interesting to see how this works artistically, and I'm really excited. I think Josh Williamson is a really good pick for this book. Then we have Adventures of Superman, John Kent. That's in March, being billed right now as a 6-issue series. This is going to replace the soon-to-be dropped Superman Son of Kal-El, which of course is the Jonathan Kent Superman book that's been going on for a while. It will be written by Tom Taylor, who's been writing that series. It will have artwork by Clayton Henry. It's going to focus on Val Zod, on the Superman from Earth 2, and of course Ultraman from Earth 3, which is, you know, he's got a little bit of history with Jonathan, so it'll be cool to see how this develops and what comes out of it. Then we have Action Comics going to an anthology format with issue 1051 starting in January. They've compared it to something like Batman Urban Legends, probably not an $8 one, probably shorter, I don't know, but what's happening is that Philip Kennedy Johnson is staying on Action Comics, delivering his Superman tale, but then there will be 2 other full comic book stories in there. There will be Lois and Clark 2, written by Dan Jurgens, with artwork by Lee Weeks, and that's cool because that's going to go back and kind of give us more of Jonathan's childhood before Superman and Lois came back to the proper universe and all this stuff, the convergence world that they were in. There was already this Lois and Clark series, and it was pretty solid, really interesting, and it's one of the reasons the success of that show, the success of that book was one of the reasons why Jonathan got introduced in as the new Superboy, then aged up, now he's a new Superman, and this and that. So then we will also have a Power Girl series in there by Leah Williams and Marguerite Sauvage. So Action Comics will definitely be increasing its price. It will have 3 full comic book stories in there. What do you think about that news? What do you think about the change in format? If it's $6 for the 3, I'm cool with it. But if it's like an $8 prestige format thing like Urban Legends, I foresee declining sales and declining interest. So I hope that DC knows what they're doing here. Then we got Multiversity. Harley screws up the DCU. This is going to be a 6-issue series debuting in March, written by Frank Thierry with artwork by Logan Farber. This is going to focus on Harley Quinn wrecking the DC multiverse. So it's a multiversity story, in name only, trust me, probably. I do like Frank Thierry. I think he does a really fun job. He's done some Harley Quinn work before. It will be interesting to see what this is going on with. It's just probably going to be a silly, fun, hilarious romp with Harley through a lot of DCU canon and canon fodder, and just having fun with it, right? I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, from Marvel, we got Sins of Sinister starting in January. That's the next X-Men kind of event that's going on. It's kind of like an Age of Apocalypse where 3 of the current ongoing X-Men books are being replaced by others because they're showing this dark timeline that's going to go through the future where Sinister leads mutant kind and humanity and the Earth and the cosmos into some kind of dark place. So basically, it's going to start with a one-shot by Kieran Gillen and Lucas Werneck, and then those three of those X-Men books are transforming into other books for 3 months until it reverts back. So X-Men Red is going to become Storm and the Brotherhood. It will continue to be written by Al Ewing. Immortal X-Men will become Immoral X-Men, continue to be written by Gillen. Legion of X will become Night Crawlers, continue to be written by Simon Spurrier. The artists for these series will be Patch Zurcher, Paco Medina, and Alessandro Vitti. And what's interesting to me is that because these stories are going to span so much time, these artists are going to each work on an issue of each book. So like for Immoral X-Men, one will be done by Medina, one by Zurcher, one by Vitti, and with the other books. So that's kind of interesting. Then it's all going to wrap up in a Sins of Sinister Dominion one-shot. So I'll probably check them out just to see what's going on, but y'all know me, I haven't really been digging the X-Men books, but I still try new #1s because you always can be surprised. I loved Exterminators #1. Red Goblin's going to be debuting from Marvel Comics in February, written by Alex Paknadel. Super excited for that. It was Juan Bosladua doing the artwork there. Not familiar with the artist, but I am familiar with Alex Paknadel. He's a fantastic writer in this industry. Check out books like Arcadia. Check out books like Turncoat. Check out books like Friendo and Giga whenever that finishes. But Alex been doing some interesting work at Marvel and a little bit at DC here and there, but now he's doing this Red Goblin story. So Red Goblin was when Norman Osborn had the Carnage symbiote. He became the Red Goblin. It was only for a short time, so I don't know if this is bringing that character back or if it's going back into that timeline and just kind of playing with it a little bit, but Alex is a super cool dude and a super solid writer, so I am rather excited for this book. Bloodline, Daughter of Blade, no release date, but it's written by Danny Lore with artwork by Karen S. Darboe. Now, we've had this idea of Blade's daughter introduced in the most recent, it was one of the Free Comic Book Day issues or something like that, but even before that, Tim Seeley was going to do a Blade's daughter book, and then it just never panned out, never happened. Now we got Danny Lore on there. Danny Lore's done some work that I thought was just okay, and they've done work that I thought was absolutely awesome, like Queen of Bad Dreams. I know that Danny is a giant fan of Blade, and so am I. I would rather have a proper Blade book. However, we'll take what we can get, and I hope that the book is exciting, and I hope it stays true to the roots of the character and the atmosphere of what a Blade comic should provide. Guardians of the Galaxy is going to have a new comic book series debuting in spring of 2023. There wasn't an announcement at New York Comic Con that is coming, but no announcement on a team or anything like that. So the fact that they're already teasing it means one of two things. They got a great team that they're ready to just unleash on us, and it's going to be awesome. But more likely, they don't really have a super solid team, so they just leaking in that announcement. But I don't know, they could blow us away. They could be like Jonathan Hickman and whoever doing Guardians of the Galaxy. It could be like, it's probably not actually. They've been teasing this Jonathan Hickman Valerio Skitty thing, and we don't know what that is yet. Anyway, Captain America Cold War, we already knew that that was coming, but Marvel shared this whole timeline of some of their events, and you can see Dark Web on there. You can see Captain America Cold War that we're going to get in spring. But then they revealed Summer of Symbiotes, which is probably what I would guess Rom V's working on right now, gearing up with the Carnage stuff, with the Venom stuff. Al Ewing's probably a part of that. So if I had to guess, that's where we're going there. And then we got Fall of X right after. Fall of X, it seems like, is the Krakoan era ending? Is it? I don't know. Let's see what happens. It'll be interesting to see. Then we got Star Trek Defiant releasing in February from IDW, written by Chris Cantwell with artwork by Angel Unzueta. This is going to spin out of some of the new Star Trek books that IDW's been doing. It's going to focus in on Worf piloting he's the captain of the Defiant. He's got Ambassador Spock there with him, Malore's there. It's described as the Dirty Dozen meets Star Trek. It seems like a cool idea. Christopher Cantwell is a cool writer. I haven't liked more of his Marvel work, though I did like his most recent Namor book. That was a pretty solid first issue, but his work outside of Marvel I really like, so let's see what he can do with some Star Trek. Then we got Violent Cases. The Neil Gaiman Dave McKean book has been optioned for a movie. In fact, they already got a director attached to it, Colm McCarthy. They got a writer attached to it, Mike Carey. And if it's the same Mike Carey that has done work like on Lucifer and Hellblazer, that's a really cool idea because he already has a foot in the door of Gaiman's Sandman, or Gaiman's universe, if you will. So there's that. And then Ben Kingsley, Sir Ben Kingsley, has been attached to Star. So that's really cool. It's been a long time since I read Violent Cases. So maybe it's time for a revisit. Then I watched, let's see, Gangs of New York, first of all. Gangs of New York TV show. There's going to be a TV show for Gangs of New York based on the novel that the movie that Martin Scorsese did was based on. But in fact, they're readapting it as a TV show. And Martin Scorsese is going to be the executive producer, and he will be directing the first 2 episodes. I'm rather excited about that. What streaming service will it be on? We don't know. Right now, I bet there's about to be a bidding war for that one. Then I watched that Megan trailer. It's a new movie from Blumhouse. Comes out January 13th. It's an interesting trailer. It's got the chick from Get Out in it, and she's got this, I guess it might be her young sister or something, I don't know, but the young girl's parents are dead. They have died in a tragic accident, and she doesn't know how to handle this kid's loneliness and isolation. So she gets like an AI-powered android doll to be this little girl's friend, and the little doll's got to protect this little girl, and of course the doll android goes crazy. It's like Child's Play, but a more modern approach to it, which they tried to do with that Child's Play remake and failed spectacularly. So we'll see what they do with this one. The trailer has some creepy bits. It looks like they actually got a little girl playing the doll, but they're doing something weird CG with her face. It just looks off. So I don't know. It's a wait and see one, but it's interesting enough. So that's what we got for you. What's coming up here? Well, first of all, Horror Fest continues tonight on Dylan's Horror Show. Join us as we talk about The Witch. I had never seen this movie, Robert Eggers. I've never seen any of his films. This is the start of it. I watched The Witch. I cannot wait to talk about that tonight on Dylan's Horror Show. Join us for a special presentation of Rockin Robbie Live Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central Time, where I'll be set up in my living room. We're delivering a Rockin Robbie Live, but I'll also be watching the Cowboys versus the Eagles, and we're going to open up a super chat menu thing that involves lots of fun could be had. So we'll see what happens. Join us. It's going to be fun. And then Monday night, join me for PCP Movie Night when we talk about The Serpent and the Rainbow on HorrorFest 2022 as it continues rolling on through. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below anything you want to talk about what we talked about or what we missed or whatever. Anyway, I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Station, pop, pop, boom!